right, good morning. I am going to harvest radish seeds. And what you need, first off, is a container like this, preferably one that does not have holes in it. So if it has holes in it, paper plate. So get your container, and what you're going to do, this is very simple. You'll have to excuse how I look. I have my work clothes on. So the seed pods on these radishes, they look like little peppers is what they look like. So you'll clip them, pair of scissors, like so. You'll stick them in a bucket, just like that. Okay. Okay, so what you need to do is, of course, let the radish that you planted go to seed. And when it goes to seed, it looks like this. A green little Tabasco pepper type shape. And so what you want to do, this is green. What you want to do is wait until they turn tan, brown, whatever, and they look dried out. So once they get to that stage, you want to clip them on the stem there somewhere, and then just stick them in a bucket, like so, like I've been doing here. And so what they'll do is that outer shell, that pod, will completely just crumble and fall apart eventually. And then that tiny, tiny little black seed, it's such a tiny little seed, will just fall onto that paper plate or the bottom of the bucket, whatever you got in there. You might have a paper plate like I do. I like the paper plate because it's white, and it's a huge contrast between the black seed and the white paper plate. And I can see my seeds very plainly. So once that happens, once that process takes place, the pod falls apart, crumbles, the seed naturally falls out onto the paper plate. You'll be able to sift out the seed, get rid of the shaft, get rid of the crumbled up pod, and you'll have just seed. So it's just that simple, but very strange because that seed is just so tiny that the seed is so tiny you can't just go. It's so hard to get it out. You know, it's just so little. Tiny little thing. There they are. I don't know if you can see them. Is that 2 in there? I don't know. I don't know how many seeds are in a pod. This one seems to have 5, 6 or so. I don't know how right that is. I don't know if you can see it or not. So the best thing to do is just let the pod completely crumble, fall apart, and then that seed will fall out eventually. And it's more of a natural process anyway. And you're assured to get the seed and it not fall out on the ground. Now last night I came out right before dark when things cooled off, and I harvested my pole beans. And maybe we'll walk over and do a quick video of that, but I harvested several pole beans just for seed. So I let the pole beans dry on the vine, and then I harvest them because then the natural process has taken place. And so when they're good and dry, I gather them, and then I let them finish out their drying in the pod. And so that is just a good way to do it with the pole beans, the bush beans, the green beans. Gathering it up. Okay, so that looks like it's about it for now. I'll be able to come out here in a couple of days, do the same thing again. Now it's very, very important that we are gathering our seeds this year. Very important. I want you to think about the pandemic and then think about the toilet paper situation. Imagine a famine on top of a pandemic or an economic collapse. Us having problems with food, Imagine trying to get seeds in a stuff hit the fan situation. Yeah, think about the toilet paper and how hard it was to get. So I want to encourage you to harvest your seeds. Don't buy them. Harvest your own seeds. Preserve your own seeds. It's so very important. So far I've got radish and pole bean. And then I will be harvesting tomato and butternut squash, acorn squash, and pumpkin, if my pumpkins do any good, amongst other things. And we will make sure we have seeds. I missed my spinach seeds. I missed those. And somehow, I guess I got too busy. Nice. We got the greenbrier growing on there. Well, my. Anyway, that is it, friends. Go out, get your veggies, cut them open, eat them, do what you're going to do with them, preserve them, but get those seeds, preserve those seeds. Listen to me, I want to say it again. Seeds are very, very important. Seeds are a very important thing. And if we have a bad situation which could arise, hey look, it's an election year. It's a pandemic year. It's an election year of the most hated president ever. It's an election year to re-elect the most hated president ever, period. It's also a year of a bad pandemic that has swept the globe, a year of economic turmoil, a year of riots like this country has never seen, a year of protest like this country has never seen, a year of moral decay and societal collapse. With 5G coming on the scene, AI coming on the scene, things are changing. We are living in a world that like we have never seen before and like the planet has never seen before. That's where we are living. And so it is so important to do this. It is so important to harvest. Let this year, like I've said so many times, this year should have been a year of learning. Your children learning. They weren't in school. Has there ever been a time where the kids were out of school like they are now? No, we are living in crazy times, friend, where you couldn't get toilet paper. You could get just about everything else, but you couldn't get toilet paper. That's Americans. That's Americans for you. Oh, everybody runs and gets toilet paper? Anyway, I mean, you can wipe your butt with a leaf. You can't eat toilet paper. Anyway, you've seen the store shelves. It's not like we had a shortage of food, we just couldn't keep it on the shelf. Get those seeds. So if you can imagine all that going on, think about seeds. Think about what would happen if folks were scrambling to get seeds. They would be gone quicker than toilet paper, friend. And so right now, it's hard to get a lot of things, and everything is super expensive. 6x6 pressure treated 8-foot long timbers, lumber, they have went up almost a third in price, and they are hard to find. I wiped Lowe's out in Loganville to build a retaining wall for somebody, and they still have not, and that was a week ago, and they still have not stocked the shelves. They're still empty of those 8-footers. And that's just an example of what is going on right now. And there are shortages, and it's because of the shutdowns. And so everything has gotten expensive. So important, friends, that we get our seeds. So important that we gather our seeds. I can't stress that enough. Let's take a walk over here. Ooh, it is hot out, friends. It is hot, hot tamale. And see, of course, curly dock is a wild edible and plentiful. Look at all these seeds. Look at the seeds, friends, and then the sunflower seeds. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to have seeds galore. And curly dock seeds, those brown seeds. I got to get rid of that ragweed before it starts giving off its pollen. But I'm going to have a ton of sunflower seeds. And I grew these strictly for the beauty and the seeds. So this year has been a year of practice for me. A year of practice. And I think folks are crazy for not doing the same thing. Now we'll show you a little bit. Let me adjust this thing if I can. Okay. All right, so I harvested a lot of beans last night. So let's see here. Now these things are kind of hard to get off, so you're good. You need a pair of scissors. These are not quite dry. These are not quite dry enough for me. I like them to get a little drier than this. You know, where they're very crispy. This is a little still got a little moisture in it, but that's okay. That's okay. And you let them finish drying out. I run a fan at night and during the day because we have window air conditioning units. And so we'll put a fan in that room and pull that cool air out. And so I always put this stuff, if I'm drying something out, I always put it in front of that fan. And it, you know, kill two birds with one stone. I really don't like the looks of this one, so we'll leave that one. But that's it, and it dries them out very fast. Just dry them out in a pod. Dry them out in a pod. Oh, let's set them down. We're not going to put them with the radish. So it's very, very important that we gather our seeds, friends, that we gather our seeds. We learn how to do this. I'm going to have I'm just about ready to do the butternut and acorn squash again, and hopefully get another harvest in. That butternut squash is amazing, so is the acorn squash. I'm going to talk about that more in another video. It's just an amazing food, and the whole thing is edible on both. You can eat the skin, You can eat, of course, the inside of it, the flesh, the meat, whatever you want to call it, and you can eat the seeds, just like pumpkin. It's just like a pumpkin. And so those three, actually acorn, pumpkin, and butternut, they are an amazing food, an amazing, unbelievable gift from the Creator. Yeah, a gift from the Creator. And I'm thankful for them. Anyway, get those seeds, harvest your seeds, store your seeds. We don't listen. This is the thing about you doing your own seeds. If you preserve them right, harvest them at the right time and preserve them right, you are almost guaranteed, if it's heirloom and organic and that sort of thing, you are almost guaranteed of a harvest the next year. When you buy these seeds from these other places, Home Depot or wherever you get them, organic, heirloom, whatever, most of the time they are good, but sometimes they are not. And so you are guaranteed, just about guaranteed, when you do it yourself. And so I want to encourage you to do that. And this is very important, very, very important. There's another one that we do this. This is our future. This, friends, this is your future. This is your security right here. You know how the pole beans produce an amazing amount of food. The radish produces very, very fast. You can eat the leaves. So as soon as it sprouts, boom, you got food, which is very fast. Radishes in a bad situation, radishes would be one of the first things I planted because I've got instant greens, because you can eat those tops. Anyway, this video is not about that. It is about harvesting seed and how important that is. And let me tell you something. Encourage those wild edibles to grow and let their seed fall where they may. Let them fall where they may. Anyway, get out there, get something done. Harvest, 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 friends. Harvest, harvest, harvest. Okay, I've got plenty of pole bean seeds and plenty of radish seeds, and so that's I'll do one more round of radish. I'll do one more round of radish, and any more pole beans that come about, which won't be very many, I'll do those as well. But that's about it with them. I wish I would have got my spinach. I tell you what I'm going to do. I've got loads and loads of ground cherry, and if you don't know what that is, go back a couple of videos and you'll figure it out. But I've got loads of ground cherry, and I am going to be taking those, some of those, up to Tennessee. Yeah, up to Tennessee, and throwing them out and seeing what happens. All right, so these are bush beans. Just a couple of those. Man, I like the pole beans. They are amazing. Whew, man. I haven't brushed my teeth, I haven't washed my face, or combed my hair. Have not. Now this, friends, is a butterfly bush or tree, whatever you want to call it. And this thing, for this time of year, is awesome to have around. It attracts, I don't know how or what attracts those butterflies, but they come. And it's beautiful to see. The grandkids love it. They love to sit out here and just watch those butterflies and hummingbirds come in and out. And just such an excellent tree to attract the pollinators. Yeah, the late summer pollinators. And that's what's going on here. So when also not just to mention seed, but get out there and figure out what time of year certain things flower so that you can attract pollinators all year long to your garden. That's very important. That's just as important as anything else when it comes to gardening. Making sure, I'll repeat myself because my buddy Josh says I don't need to repeat myself. I'm going to do it anyway. Sorry, Josh. But anyway, I was being funny. So anyway, we need to make sure that we know what flowers at what time, and then plant those things so we can have pollinators throughout the whole growing season. The whole growing season. That is just as important as knowing what produces at what time of year. It's just as important as that. It's like your wild edibles. You know that blackberries are right now, it is August the 1st, so here and in Tennessee the blackberries are starting to phase out. The mulberries phased out right before the blackberries came in. Then the blackberries come in. We're talking about wild edibles here. Now the autumn olive is coming in as the blackberries phase out. And then when the autumn olive is gone, then the muscadines will phase in as the autumn olive phases out. And so I don't know how I'm getting off track on all these other things, but they are stuff to think about, friends, stuff to think about. And knowing these things is a must. Now we're fixing to have the pokeweed berry come about, and they should be here in a month. They should start appearing in the next couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and last for a couple of months. And you need to study those out. They have some great benefits, medicinal, and some folks just love to make pies and that sort of thing out of them. Anyway, friends, we're over 22 minutes, and we will see you